The discovery and the promise. Imagine a world with no pollution, no carbon emissions, no radioactive nuclear waste, and unlimited electricity for the next 10,000 years. This isn't a utopian sci-fi dream, it's a physical reality waiting for us on the surface of the moon. While humanity has spent the last century fighting devastating wars over oil, gas, and coal, we've ignored the greatest fuel source in the solar system: Helium-3. Just 25 tons of this rare isotope could power the entire United States for a full year. To put that in perspective, a single space shuttle load of helium-3 could replace the entire global energy consumption for months. The only problem? There is almost none of it on Earth. Our atmosphere and magnetic field shield us from the solar wind, which carries this precious material. But on the Moon, there is no shield. For 4 billion years, the lunar regolith has been soaking up helium-3 like a cosmic sponge. Today, as we stand in 2026, the race for the ultimate energy source has officially begun. This is the story of the second lunar gold rush. To understand why nations are willing to spend hundreds of billions of dollars to mine the Moon, we have to look at the physics of nuclear fusion. Today's nuclear power plants rely on nuclear fission, the process of splitting heavy atoms like uranium. While efficient, fission is dangerous. It creates long-lived radioactive waste and carries the permanent risk of a meltdown. Nuclear fusion, on the other hand, is the process that powers the Sun. It involves merging light atoms together to release massive bursts of energy. But why helium-3? Why not stay with traditional nuclear power? Today's nuclear plants create massive amounts of energy, but they leave behind a toxic legacy. Helium-3 fusion is different. It is what scientists call aneutronic power. It produces electricity directly through charged particles without generating the high-energy neutrons that make reactor materials radioactive. Imagine a fusion reactor small enough to sit in the middle of a crowded city like New York or Tokyo, providing clean, safe energy for millions with absolutely no risk of a meltdown. This is the promise that justifies the trillion-dollar price tag of lunar mining. But how much of it is actually up there? Astronomers and geologists estimate that there are at least 1.1 million metric tons of helium-3 embedded in the top layer of the lunar soil. At a current estimated market value of $4 billion per ton, the Moon is no longer just a cold, gray satellite. It is the most valuable gas station in the galaxy. The energy stored in lunar helium-3 is 10 times greater than all the fossil fuels ever found on Earth. The engineering and the economics. Mining helium-3, however, is an engineering challenge of epic proportions. You don't dig deep shafts like you would for coal or diamonds. Helium-3 is trapped in the regolith, the fine, glass-like dust that covers the lunar surface. To extract it, you have to process massive amounts of soil. Let's get technical for a moment. To capture helium-3, we aren't just scooping dust. We are performing molecular separation in one of the harshest environments known to man. The lunar regolith is sharp as glass because there is no wind to erode it. Our harvesters must be mobile chemical plants. They must use centrifugal separators to spin the soil at high speeds, isolating the helium-3 gas from other lunar elements like hydrogen and carbon monoxide. The logistical reality is staggering. To get just 1 ton of helium-3, you would need to mine and heat 150 million tons of lunar regolith to about 600 degrees Celsius. The sheer energy required to heat that much soil is immense. We will need massive solar arrays, or perhaps small modular nuclear reactors, parked on the lunar surface just to keep the mining fleet running. We are talking about the most complex industrial choreography ever attempted by the human race. The economics of helium-3 are as volatile as the gas itself. While a ton is valued at $4 billion, the true value lies in the energy multiplier. 1 kilogram of helium-3 burned in a fusion reactor produces as much energy as 15,000 tons of coal. This completely shatters the current global energy grid. If the United States or China secures a dominant position, they won't just sell the gas, they will sell the energy standard. We could see the rise of a new global currency backed not by gold or oil, but by the terawatts of fusion power stored in lunar vaults. This is why private equity firms and sovereign wealth funds are suddenly pouring billions into secretive fusion startups. They aren't betting on a rocket, they are betting on the future of human civilization's power source. Geopolitics and the human future. We are witnessing the start of the great lunar game. The geopolitics of energy are being rewritten in real time. China's Chang'e missions have already successfully returned lunar samples to Earth, and their scientists are specifically mapping the highest concentrations of helium-3. China has made it clear they intend to be a leader in the lunar economy. Meanwhile, the United States is pushing the Artemis Accords, a legal framework that allows for the extraction and ownership of lunar resources. India, Russia, and the European Space Agency are all scrambling to stake their claims. We are witnessing the birth of a lunar energy cartel. If one nation achieves a monopoly on helium-3, they effectively become the Saudi Arabia of the 21st century. But who will run these mines? While automation and AI will do the heavy lifting, a permanent mining operation requires a human presence. This is how the first lunar cities will actually start. Not as tourist hubs, but as company towns for engineers, chemists, and drone pilots. We are looking at the birth of the first lunar generation. Humans born in low gravity, working to keep the lights on back on Earth. Their perspective will be different. They won't see the moon as a distant rock, but as a home that provides for the mother planet. There is also a profound environmental argument. Some critics fear we will scar the lunar landscape. But the counter-argument is even more compelling. By moving our energy production off-planet, we could allow Earth's biosphere to finally heal. By mining a dead, airless rock, we could stop the destruction of our living forests, the pollution of our oceans, and the warming of our atmosphere. It is the ultimate trade-off, a small footprint on the lunar dust to ensure a permanent green future for our home. The first commercial shipments of helium-3 are expected to arrive on Earth by the mid-2030s. We are the last generation that will grow up in an era of energy scarcity, and the first generation that will witness the birth of a true spacefaring civilization. Thank you for watching AU Minds. This journey is just beginning. If you want to stay ahead of the technology and the economies that are shaping our future, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, and I want to hear from you. Is mining the moon a necessary step, or are we repeating our mistakes? I'm Marcus, and the future is electric. We'll see you in the next orbit. If you had a one-way ticket, which planet would you travel to?